picked based on being guided by the spirits of both my ancestors, Mama Mkazi, and your ancestors. So it does require commitment and people wanting to really break through, right?
Yes.
So tell me about before the spiritual sovereignty coaching program. What was life like for you?
Well, before the spiritual sovereignty coaching program, I struggled with the conflicts of internal conflicts of my spiritual path not aligning with that of my family, which was a very strong religious background, with ministers and preachers and different officers of the church on both sides. You know, my mom and my dad's side, and finding that my path, I had more resonance with the spiritual aspect more so than the religious aspect. So I felt a lot of guilt and uncertainty, with my spiritual journey.
Hmm. Was that in regards to like ancestral veneration?
Yes, mostly with the ancestral veneration, and then using the herbs, in different things, and learning more about the elements and stuff like that. So, but yes, all related.
Tarot,
Yes,
oracle cards, and crystals.
yes, all of the things.
Wow. Okay. Um, and how has the being in this program helped you overcome the guilt, the feelings, the resistance you had?
Well, being in the program, I was able to like really hone in on the fact that my spiritual sovereignty, my spiritual journey is mine and mine alone, and it wouldn't look like anybody else's. So to um, just coming to that knowing and accepting that has been key, for me
Yeah.
in my journey.
Ashe, and liberating yourself and taking ownership of it,
Yes.
not allowing other people to dictate your walk.
Right, right. To take ownership of it and to navigate it for myself, with whatever resonates with me, with what resonates with me sticks, and what doesn't, I'm able to, give it away with love, and appreciation for whatever it may have taught me at the time.
Yes. Okay. Um, were there any significant breakthroughs? You can.
Yes, actually, there were a few, and one of the ones that I think was key that I did not expect was the learning how deeply impactful generational traumas can be,
Mm,
and that it's okay to embrace the resilience and the strength and all of those perceived positives, and to release and let go of the hurt, and the pain and the guilt, the shame, and all those things that are attached to those things. So that was key, and that wasn't something that I expected in the program, but I'm appreciative of it.
that's beautiful. So you found that you had some big releases, and you had some instances where you were able to forgive and just like really come to terms with the things that happened and how it's impacting you now, and realizing your power to overcome, like to dissect it and release it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
I wanted you to talk more about the ancestral veneration piece and how you increase your comfort level for it, or what dispelled the myths that you were taught and told. Like what was your experience engaging in it more deeply?
Okay, so that for me is honestly still a work in progress. However, I have an ancestral prayer that I say, during my personal devotion time, and I have a glass of water that I do keep with a candle lit and an incense burning. Um, So yeah, and I find that I dream a lot more. And actually, I was asking, like, okay, I don't know, but whoever is a teacher, all of the teachers, please help me. I'm trying to teach my fourth grade, my fourth grade grandbaby these things, and I don't know these things. They've changed so much since I was in school. And I had a dream of one of my aunts, and she had some flashcards, and and it was like she was sitting next to me, and my granddaughter was on the floor, and I looked her up in Ancestry, and she was a third and fourth grade teacher. So I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, so that was interesting to me. That recently happened, like last week or so. Yeah, last week.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. Oh my. So yes, we can have the power to summon them, and they're here to assist and to support us. That's beautiful. So they're not just waiting to be resurrected.
Right.
Yeah. So that makes a big difference in how we receive them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, thank you for that. That's beautiful, girl.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, I told my daughter, I said, I believe, her name was Robertine, and we called her Auntie Ned. So I'm like, I believe Auntie Ned came to me in my dream to tell me how to teach Avery, because I'm like, so I just knew about both my maternal grandmothers, maternal and paternal grandmothers were teachers, and this auntie was my paternal, is my paternal grandmother's sister, and she didn't have any children. So I really was shocked. But I said, I think she came through a dream to tell me how to teach Avery. Because I asked the question. And then like I said, I had the dream, and I was like, and I was like, I swear we were over Auntie Ned's house, and this, that, and the other. And then when I looked her up and saw that on Ancestry, I just chuckled to myself. I'm like,
that's beautiful. I love that.
Yes, me too.
What would you say to someone who is interested in doing this?
I would tell them that it is a very empowering program, that it is a safe space, for someone to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed, to be supported, in all the things, and to feel a sense of belonging. So it's it was an amazing program. I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of it.
Good thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How would you describe your life now, post spiritual sovereignty program? Now that you are walking in your sovereignty and you're aware that you have that power, you've reclaimed it. How is life now?
Okay, so I have been more clear on setting boundaries and communicating those boundaries. I have been more intentional and deliberate on self-care, and realizing that self-care is a key form of self-love. I have been okay and comfortable in, saying, hey, ancestors, help me, I may not know whose name to call, but I just know, benevolent ancestors who desire my highest and greatest good, the most highly elevated. Help me, because I don't know what to do or say in this situation. So please help me. And like my dream show, and I've had more than one, but that's the one that stands out because it's the most recent. And I was able, my granddaughter is in the fourth grade, and for my auntie to be a third and fourth grade teacher, that was huge for me, because I'm like, okay, so I know that I'm being heard and supported, in the spiritual realm too. So that's exciting for me.
Wow. Yes. Give thanks.
Okay. So in actuality, because I was fortunate to be able to attend your ancestral healing retreat in Sapelo, that's actually where I was introduced to the concept of spiritual sovereignty. And I was like, so, when I actually heard that you were giving a coaching program, I was like, oh, I want that. I want that for myself. That's something that I've been wanting ever since that experience in Sapelo. And so I was like, yeah, let me jump on that. I don't know how, but let me jump on it. And again, I'm grateful that I did. And you also introduced Sankofa. So, and I was, very interested in learning more about that if you ever decide to do that. And I see the Sankofa behind your head. I'm looking behind my head. But yeah. But Daisha, you have been very intentional, very purposeful, and I'm grateful to know that you're spirit led in all that you do, and it's no cookie cutter aspect to it. So that it's very personalized to you or to the person that's receiving the services to you. I mean, that are from you rather, and you are always very attentive, and you're amazing. I'm grateful to have the experiences that I've had with you.
Give thanks. Thank